Facebook and those of you that are on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to like and share tonight's episode. If you are on YouTube, like, share, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, put the alert on, and come on in and get comfortable on tonight. Listen, y'all might wonder why I'm not in the middle of the shop. That's because my brother is on his way, Frank Oliver. Y'all pray his strength in the Lord. Y'all know he has a little bit of a late demon. So he should be arriving shortly and be able to add some substance to this conversation on tonight. But again, welcome you all in. Thank you for joining me on tonight. I don't want to belabor the moment or hold you all up. I'm glad that the Lakers have won. That way, I don't have to worry about you all being distracted with the Laker game or something like that. And some of you may be watching our president and vice president, um, or former vice president, I may say, on either ABC or NBC, and they jack that up. But tonight, I want to talk about women who are collaborators and enablers, right? Um, Women who are collaborators and enablers. And I want you all to talk to me on tonight. Call in number is 424 234 8670. 424-234-8670. And we're going to talk about that on tonight. And be like, man, bro, where'd you get that topic from? Well, I really got that topic from because all this week I think I've been stopping with yesterday. I don't know if they had any yesterday, but we have been going through these confirmation hearings for Judge Barrett to see if she will be confirmed to the Supreme Court. And it looks like a lot of her, what she's agreeing with, what she's not agreeing with, what she's for, what she's against. To me, it stuck out as she was a collaborator with men that are trying to keep a patriarchal order or stronghold over people, primarily white men. And also, it seems like that she was an enabler as well. So when I saw that, I was like, man, I think that would be a good topic to join in on and just talk about and converse about on tonight, because I think there are some women out there that just not in the political sphere, but in a lot of different areas of life, they have become enablers, right? They become enablers and collaborators with individuals that want to keep people oppressed and or discriminated against, and or try to infringe on an individual's right, in whatever sphere that is. So I just kind of wanted to give some redress to that on tonight and talk about it, how some women, not all, again, how some women are collaborators and enablers to this patriarchal, white male, misogynistic type of behavior that don't allow minorities and women right? Because what do you do? And this is where I would want to hear you all's thoughts on tonight. 424-234-8670. What what do women do when you have a woman that's about to be confirmed? What do women do when you have a woman that's about to be confirmed your right to choose, right? And I'm not about to have this knockdown, drag out argument about are you pro-life or are you pro-choice. I'll say it like this: I am for the woman having with individuals what she wants to do with her body. I don't think a government, any government entity, or any state in these yet to be United States of America, any county or local municipality should have the authority of telling a woman what she should do. This is aside from my personal beliefs on pro-life or pro-choice. I think that is that woman's right. And if that woman is married, if she just so happens to be married, I believe that she uh, owes an in-depth conversation to her husband, and her husband and her make a decision on what they want to do if those two parties have conceived a baby, right? But you have a woman that's getting ready to be, for all intents and purposes, unless we get about 4 or 5 Republican senators, that side of the Democrats that's about to be confirmed to, right, to the Supreme Court. And and you know what I mean? What do we do with that? How do women feel? And I want to be able to hear you all on tonight to really see how do women feel when another woman is collaborating against something that would be oppressive to you, right? And then another area where she didn't want to give real redress about was being an enabler to, let's say, to discrimination, voter suppression, right, voting rights, all these things. All of a sudden, she didn't have an answer for, so now she's now also becoming an enabler because she's not standing up for what is right. Right? I'm just trying to give you a backdrop on my thought process, right? So on one side, she's conspiring, right, to take away rights that have already been on the book with Roe versus Wade. And then on the other end, she's enabling these things that are going on in our country all across and vote. If you all have been living under a rock and you didn't know, voting in this 2020 cycle has already begun. And if you've been watching news, that in Texas, I believe also in Georgia, maybe even in Florida, their early voting has started, and lines are wrapped around corners, and up and down highways and byways, because with these Republican governors in office and their Republican Secretary of States, they're trying to make it as hard as it can for people to exercise their right to vote. And then when this candidate for a lifetime, again, it's a lifetime appointment, so you can't allow this stuff to think it doesn't matter to you, because presidents come and go. Judges are for a lifetime. So we have to take it serious. Now you have this woman that's about to be confirmed to a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court that has nothing to say when it pertains to the voter suppression that's going on right now. All of a sudden, she's mute. She doesn't have any thoughts about it, right? Healthcare, right? Or the ACA, or better known as Obamacare. She is kind of like a conspirer or a collaborator with those individuals that want to try to take away healthcare from people that's over 20 million people that have healthcare, and those individuals that have what about these people that are suffering with COVID right now? Those people would be labeled as individuals that have pre-existing conditions. What do we, what do you do with those individuals? How do you protect those individuals from what's going on? So let's talk about it on tonight. Like I said, I'm waiting for my guest to show up, Brother Frank Oliver. I think he's parking. But I want to hear you all's thoughts. Right? What do we do when women when they are collaborators and enablers? Right? So take a beat, think about it. 424-234-8670. Number is 424-234-8670. Because, and I would like to hear from some females on tonight. Hopefully you all are out there. But as a man, how can I be trying to fight a fight for equality, for respect, and everything else, and you have women that are collaborating with the oppressor in whatever sphere it is to keep the situation status quo? That means just the same. Or what is a man to do, or how do we come against when you have women that are, right, enablers, right? Let's talk about, I forgot her name off the top of my head, but the lady that was helping out Jeffrey Epstein. She was an enabler. She was getting these young girls and or women to do all these type of sexual favors, and bringing these other young girls or women into this web or this whatever organization or corporation or whatever you call it that Epstein was running, right? He wasn't doing it himself. He had a woman that was enabling him on one hand, and a woman that was conspiring or collaborating with him that allowed him to allow that sexual ring or whatever Epstein was doing to run for so long, right? So what do you do when you're trying to stop these horrendous acts of sex trafficking and all of this kind of stuff, but then you got women on the inside that's helping these guys to move these type of organizations or behaviors along, right? So I want to hear the thoughts of some women. 424-234-8670, because what is a man to do, right? When sometimes women can be some of their worst enemies. You got a caller, man? Oh. Man, where's Frank? I'm talking to A1, y'all. I'm sorry. Is he on the phone or something? Frank downstairs. Y'all, listen. Y'all pray for my brother Frank, because y'all just pray his strength. And
you're not a nice person.
I'm getting some signs that said what's going on with the sound. It says, one comment said, what's going on with the sound? It sounds like you're in a tunnel.
Can you grab that mic?
Listen, I'm going to switch mics real quick. Y'all let me know if the sound is coming through better. Hear me better. Somebody holler back at me if you all can hear me better in this mic.
say something if you can hear me better in this mic than you can the other mic. Can let y'all show me some sign in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me better here than you can in the other one. Well, let me and let me see. I'm gonna switch over to the other mic too.
I'm back. I'm back on the regular side.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah, it does sound better on this side. A1, is it the cord or is it the mic? Let's try it now. Am I coming through better, ladies and gentlemen?
Is it pushed on the lean?
I did not know. Man, y'all gonna have to make me start the whole show all over again.
Ain't nobody seen that the whole time.
Right. Y'all just let me go and go and go, and y'all ain't said nothing.
Yeah, your mama just called me and said, I can barely hear him.
Hold on for a second, and let me see if we can do better. Hootie-hoo! Is it just that number 2 line that's not coming in real good?
Say something right now.
Hey y'all, we trying to get this line working. Three is all right. Let's see if switch me over to channel 4, because we know 3 is fine.
Test 1, test 2. We're trying to see if this is gonna come through. All right. So I think we where we need to be on the night. I'm a little bit better. Yes, please go get Frank. Tell him to come on. Unless it's his wife. If it's my sister, then then we all right. All right. So you all let me know. Cheryl Lynn. And everybody else that's on, those of you that are on YouTube, y'all show some sign. All right, I'm better. All right, so I don't want to go all the way back over where I was, but basically I'm talking about women who are collaborators and or enablers, right? And the premise of that I've gotten it is from looking at Judge Barrett, who is going through her confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court of these yet to be United States of America, and these topics that she's dealing with and questions that she's being asked. It seems as if she's collaborating with the male patriarchal Anglo-Saxon view, trying to keep things the way they want it, and or she's siding with misogynistic viewpoints. And primarily, and this is for guys as well, but primarily I need you women to talk to me. 424-234-8670. Y'all talk to me about how you feel about that. Because in this goes for different areas of life. It just doesn't have to deal with the area of politics, but it deals in the area of relationships, when you deal in the area of money, how can you have viable and thriving relationships with individuals when some people will collaborate with others against you, and some individuals will enable you, and it's not for the betterment of women as a whole, or the betterment of your children, or if you're dealing with your husband or your boyfriend or something, or your family. You can't get things done in life when you're dealing with people that will collaborate with others to keep you where you are, keep you confined, right? Or enable certain behaviors that keep you confined or suppressed, right? Collaborating with people not to push a progressive agenda, or enable individuals, like I was saying earlier, to have to still walk out this voter suppression stuff, right? And I was just giving the backdrop of how she's up there answering these questions on how it will literally affect our lives, because believe it or not, presidents come and go. Obviously, Trump doesn't want to go. Trump probably, if he could have his way, will want to get rid of term limits, and he would want to be celebrated as a king forever and ever. But we know that a president either serves a 4-year term or 2 4-year terms that totals out to be 8 years in total. So presidents come and go. But when you're talking about getting a lifetime appointment to the bench of the Supreme Court, this person could affect how we live our lives, what laws are passed. That has a huge effect on the totality of our society. So it's real important, I believe, that we talk about how do we look at them when they're collaborating, or when they're enabling others to hold us back. Here come my brother. All hell, I would stand up, but I'm not gonna stand up. The overseer, the pastor, the right reverend, the most reverend, the relationship guru. Y'all show some love. A1, if you can give me the hand claps, I don't know where
get the
it
hand
is,
clap.
man. Give me the hand claps if you can.
Boop,
A1
boop,
for
boop.
my good brother, Frank.
You know you my
Oliver.
dude.
I know, man.
Because I've been on the phone.
Was it my sister? Was you on the phone?
No, I
with
went on his
oh.
phone with your sister. I ain't talked to your sister. You ain't called me, sis. You know what I mean? No, I was on the phone with some of your ecclesiastical brethren.
Oh, Lord.
Fixing, so. What's up, man?
What's up, man? You like the new dialogue?
Man, I like your new dialogue. You're progressive, baby.
Man.
I love it. I'm liking it. I'm liking the Nike polo shirt on the side. Boy.
Man, leave me alone,
I'm loving
man.
what's going on here, baby.
We're trying to do it. So let's get right into it, man, because I want you to give
a
little bit of redress to it. We're talking about women who are collaborators and enablers. And I was just kind of giving a backdrop dealing with Judge Barrett.
Okay.
On how she's collaborating with some of our white males that are in the Senate so they can get their agenda pushed. And she's also enabling how she's answering her questions when they deal with the current voter suppression that we see going on with those long lines in Florida, Georgia, and stuff. So what is your thoughts about that? How can we deal or speak to women that are collaborators or enablers that don't move women, don't progress women, and, don't progress us all as a whole?
So part of it is number one, the problem is that everybody's advancing, but we don't redefine the word power and power dynamics and power structure.
Okay.
And because we haven't done that, then the power structure we only operate within whatever the power dynamic is, right? So the way you see that is, Pastor Rowe, is we can knock down a house, right? Or I can knock down walls of the house, but if the frame is still up, I only can operate within the framework that's set up. If I want to change that house, I have to change the frame.
Right.
And so what has happened is women are knocking down ceilings, but they're not changing the frame. And so
Okay.
now they're being replaced in the power dynamic. Well, we as African American men can have this conversation because we understand the power dynamic. Since Africa, there always been those who have collaborated in their own oppression.
Right.
That's the reason how we got over here in the first place.
Right. Somebody
And
sold us.
so
Yeah.
our brother Clarence Thomas is a collaborator in his own oppression, right?
Right.
He collaborates. He's going to work with the oppressor to keep the status quo.
Right.
That's
Ben
exactly
Carson
right.
is another.
Ben Carson was another one. God bless to the heart.
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain passed. They didn't even recognize him. They didn't even celebrate him. And he was one of their greatest. He was one of their greatest collaborators, right?
Right.
And so what we find is that people play this role. So it doesn't blow my mind. I'm not surprised now as women are operating, as they're growing, they have been put in these roles. White women don't blow me away at all because guess what happened? The whole thing of affirmative action wasn't for black people. Who benefited the most? White women. Why do white women benefit for it? Because white men added more money to their household income. White women going to work only added for him more money for him to advance up. That's all it has been. You get what I'm saying?
I got
the
you.
power, it's always advanced the power person at top. Anytime you start to talk about real power and real change, that's when you become a threat. As Martin Luther King, they want to kill you. So most people don't want to be killed, isolated, or pushed out. So then they just fit in. They fit in wherever they can. And so now this woman, Judge Amy, is fitting in. And the best thing they have done is spiritualize to justify why she feels good. Right. So this is the argument. I am pro-life.
Right.
I'm pro-life because abortion is murder. So if we roll back,
Roe v. Wade, yeah.
I got you. I'm as evangelical Christian as my white evangelical Christians are. I'm pro, I call it pro-responsibility. And I'm gonna show you why. I'm pro-responsibility. I'm anti-abortion though. But watch this. To be transparent, I got 4 kids. I had 3 underneath the age of 3, but in between those 3, my wife had a miscarriage. It was hard on my wife. Had this miscarriage, it was hard on her. We go to the hospital, we go to the doctor. The doctor says, I see no heartbeat. We went to the doctor twice. They saw no heartbeat. They have called it the baby's. But my wife has to allow this thing to pass.
Right. Okay.
Another week go by. My wife still hasn't had it passed. Psychologically, something in her baby is dead, it's in her, and she has to keep living this horror, and it's not passing yet. And now the question is my wife gonna be sick? What are the ramifications of this? Now they say 2 things. We're gonna have to take the baby out as a procedure. We have to either do an abortional procedure, or we have to give you a pill that's also considered an abortional procedure. If we're not trying to kill, the baby's dead.
Right. Baby's already passed.
My wife, now health is on
The line.
Right. The question now is, if there was not this notion of pro-choice for women, my wife would have had to sit there, and if the baby would not have passed, my wife would have had to deal with the ramification of her own health, because we are anti-abortion. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are what they may consider a pro-lifer. But we understand that this is not just about somebody walking in, I don't want a baby no more, take the baby out of me. The argument is more complicated than that.
Yeah.
And what has happened is in Judge Amy's case, they have reduced it to this one, God is against murder.
Right.
This, right? But the flip side is these are the same people who are against Black Lives Matter and won't say Black Lives Matter, but yet the baby matter and the fetus matter.
Right. Same people that once the baby get here, what our Latino brothers and sisters, you caging kids at the border.
Right. But their lives don't matter because they consider illegals. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are so the thing is complicated in a sense, and we have to talk about the complexities of life. I think one thing that's so good about what we do as pastors, our job is to get the simple message of Jesus saves in a complicated and complex world.
Right.
The message of us, Jesus says, he died 3 days. We make it sound real good as we close. But the reality of it is we know it's a propitiation, adoption, reconciliation, redemption. All of these
justification, sanctification.
All of these things are complex things in which we only have maybe 20 to 45 minutes to expound on to help you make it through a complicated life. That's what we're called to do. And I think that until we can get that mindset of what the preacher has infused into the society, we're going to forever have women who are collaborating in their own.
Right, because let's and I know this is a little bit off, so y'all bear with us because that's some of the questions that she was getting asked, because Roe v. Wade is the law of the land, but she didn't really want to give a definitive answer on how she was going to rule, even though she got papers and stuff out there kind of giving us, redress on how her view is. Right. Can you be pro-life and pro-choice at the same time? Because my school of thought is, I don't believe any government, any of these yet to be United States of America, county or city municipalities have the right to tell your wife what she can do with her body. Right? Now that she's married, she needs to have an honest conversation with her husband, him still knowing that is her body. Now, as you articulated, her health is involved in this, her physical health. And now you all, as a singular one flesh unit, have a conversation about what you want to do, because now, like you said, there's a responsibility there. If she's single, she needs I just don't believe a government should have the right to tell this woman what she can and cannot do. So can I be pro-life and pro-choice?
Well, obviously you can't be, because the same group, the same conservative group who's the government's too much in your business. The government is too much in your affairs. Small government. We don't want the government infringing on our rights. Don't infringe on our get the government out of it. It's the same ones who saying the government needs to be over a woman's body.
Right.
A woman ain't smart enough to make the decision on her own.
Right. Which is perpetuating that Anglo-Saxon, misogynistic, patriarchal order or rule over
and the
women.
Government who's going to be over it. We also believe a white man needs to be at the top, and white men know better about women's bodies and women's health than women know, and that's what it is. And now what we have done is we're tired of making that argument. So what we're going to do is find a woman, and we want her to adopt our view. We don't want her to come up with no thought. See, it would have been different to me if Judge Amy was like Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
See, one thing I can say about Brett Kavanaugh,
he's standing on his own 2 feet now that he's in there.
He lived this. When they was asking him things about the law, you watched him light up, and he began to weave and to bob. You can watch there. This man is really, there's a calling on his life
to be a man of law,
a judge, a man of law. I mean, literally, I may not agree with him, but I cannot deny
that he's been a good justice.
Come on,
he's been, because he ain't even sided with Trump since he been. I think 2 of the 3 things that came up that was major, he went the other way.
He's thinking through.
Yeah.
My question is what I haven't got to see, and maybe because it's the political environment, because I heard she was a professor before then. I want to know, how are you thinking through the nuances and the tension? And again, I guess I say, because we preachers, I guess, I got to think, when I'm looking at a preacher and I'm watching this presentation, I want to know, how did he deal with the tension of the text?
Right.
There's always tension in the text, right?
tension in the
And
text.
so I want to know how you're dealing with the tension of the text, because the tension of the text represents life. Job had tension. David is on the run from Saul. That's tension. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? I can show you everybody in the Bible, whoever had the journey in life, have to deal with the tension. How do we deal with the tension of our lives? How does she... To me, watching and listening, I have not seen her deal with tension. And so therefore, to me, I don't want to put you in a lifelong appointment and you can't show me you've dealt with tension.
Right.
But again, I think the same way as a preacher and a pastor. I don't think you should be ordained in a lifelong appointment as ordained elder in the Lord's church, ordained reverend in the Lord's church, and you ain't showed us that you can deal with the tension and the vicissitudes of life.
You just, this is where I am, and this is where you always
Right.
gonna be. Listen, I don't
And I'm
need
sorry I went all the way around, but
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
Getting back to women, because I want to make it bigger, because I think sometimes people think that when and especially I don't want people to get on your show to think that this is a show, oh, they're just sexist or they're just talking about women. I want to show that this is a connection that is made in a bigger
And we're
narrative
dealing
in the world.
we're dealing with a real world issue that's going on right now. You can look at CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, Fox News. This has been going on since Monday. This woman has been on a myriad of topics. You can clearly see her as a collaborator or she's an enabler. Cause she ain't got I need to see. What you mean you need to see if we talking about the transition of power if Trump get voted out? He's trying to put you in there so he can purposefully try to get this to the Supreme Court so that you would vote to keep him in. What if he lose, baby, what's it gonna cost you to say, yeah, president lost, he out? Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, why are you gonna enable this clown?
Well, number one is he can pull her nomination at any time because she has not been confirmed yet. Number two is Jesus says the love of money is it Jesus, or maybe Paul says it? The love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Jesus says you can't serve two masters. You got to love one, hate the other. And then he says the masters is not God and the devil. He says the masters will either be God and money, right? Mammon. One of the challenges is as long as money is involved in politics, and so what we have seen is hypocrisy and devils. Money is involved in getting these appointments and getting these judges and picking who and putting up money to politic for one. And so therefore, what you're watching is hypocrisy, and you're watching what has happened, and we've seen this in every major empire. When money is involved and you can pay and sway, you lose. The empire begins to crumble, and that's what we're seeing. And so I would say the problem is she can't be real because she can't tell her true heart desire. Now we know what her true heart desire was when she wasn't underneath the heat. She told us how she felt.
Right.
When she enrolled it, when she was a professor, when you're a professor, you're free.
Right.
You're
To
free
say,
to
to
talk
do
and
whatever
flow
you
to
wanna-
say
right.
exactly what's on your heart. But now that you are in the heat, and now Republican, Democrat, and somebody else now has to vote for your confirmation, now you're willing to say whatever you feel is politically correct.
Right.
And so now that's what she's doing. And hopefully people will look and judge a person by,
Right.
Jesus said, know the fruit by the
tree by the fruit it bears. Yeah, let's go to another one, because right before you walked in, I was talking about what about these women that are collaborators and enablers to men like Epstein, old girl that's up on charges now. Like Epstein wouldn't have been able to do what he do, or men that have certain sexual behaviors or act out certain things in relationships, as you say. They can't do this without a woman either collaborating with them or enabling them. So is it all on the man if he not doing what he's supposed to do in a particular relationship, if the woman is basically enabling him to get over? Sisters, shut it down.
The body and Clyde, bro.
Right.
Well, see, I think, you're going to get in trouble in this area if this is where you want to go, because then this begins to talk about the power of influence, which was what God's given nature God had gave a woman.
Yeah.
She's never by definition, she's never stronger than a man physically,
Right.
right? But what she had
Got that influence.
She had influence.
We gonna call it influence on the night. Yeah, she
had influence.
She got influence.
Anywhere
yeah.
it goes, she operates with a power of influence. And I can say sometimes influence is more powerful than brute strength.
Yeah.
Right? Influence is more powerful than brute strength. So when we look at it from that point of view, the question I go to the question is, she's so influential, Adam had to eat the fruit. My buddy, Elder Larry, he's passed away now. God rest his soul. But I remember his first, one of his first couple of messages he preached. He preached this message called "The Booty Call That Sent Your Soul to Hell."
That's a good one.
I love it. And one of his messages was, he was in Bible study teaching in Genesis, and he says, let's work in our sanctified imagination. Eve was made from the perfect hands of God.
Right. Everything about her was
Everything
perfect.
was perfect. He said her breasts set up perfectly. Her waist was shaped perfectly. That naked, perfect body. Ate that perfect fruit with its perfect juices as she bit into that fruit, and that juice ran down her perfect
body.
breast. How can now you be mad that Adam wanted to take a bite?
He knowingly knew. We find out in the scriptures that he knowingly knew.
When he watched that juice from that perfect fruit touch her perfect body as her perfect teeth bit into it, and she said, "Do you want some?" What man who's heterosexual wouldn't say, "Give me that fruit"?
Right.
We was in the church, said, "Lord, bless this man's heart." At the end of the day, the influence has always been. The influence has always occurred. And I ask women, because listen what God's saying is, God says your heart will be wanting to rule your man. You want to control, but he'll rule over you. Mm-hmm. That's her judgment, because what he's going to get, you're going to always have a tension with power, because you didn't handle power
when it was on the equal plane.
You're not handling your natural power of influence effectively.
Yeah.
So your power of control is only going to get you controlled. And that's the dynamic of the picture that we got to begin to engage spiritually. Yeah. We have to talk about, if we don't get women reconciled back to loving their power of influence, they can never really obtain and be effective in their power of position.
Right, because if you use your power of influence right, you never need the position.
I ain't go there. You ain't there.
I'm just saying, you never need to be the CEO.
No, you ain't gonna give me that, Doc.
I mean, if you're saying,
is the CEO,
I mean, I'm just saying, if she is the CEO, she's in control. But for those that are not,
this is why A1 is producing this show. They don't believe in women in no positional power.
Listen, I'm not saying that. What you saying is you need to get them back. No, you said if they need to re-understand their power and influence.
You understand your God-given
power,
nature. God has given every woman in nature, whether she's saved or unsaved, he's given her the power of influence.
Right.
That's a part of her nature.
I forgot the story. I don't want to quote the women wrong, but the girl that was dancing that ultimately got John the Baptist's head.
You talking about Herodias, I believe it is.
Right? She used her influence in such a way.
And that's why in hip hop culture right now, the strippers are more effective of getting black men than the women who are the daughters of Zion, who are supposed to be wives. That's why the side pieces are now more influential in our community than the Michelle Obamas, or who are wives. And what I'm saying is, Michelle is a superstar, but the Michelle-like women, those women who are doing well, doing great, we have smothered their voices for the Megan Thee Stallions,
The
for
Cardi
the Cardi
B's.
B's, and I
Right.
can go on and on and on. Those women have been silenced because those women have learned how to effectively use their influence. When you might be great at your job and you might have done great in your work and you might have great accolades, but the question is, have you really learned how to tap in your influence to be effective? Does that understand what I'm saying?
I'm understanding what you're
And
saying
so
now.
I believe that women, if they learn how to operate with their God-given nature of influence well, then when you do get in positions of power, whether you agree that when you do become the CEO, you're unstoppable because you're operating in your God-givenness and your nature.
And
You're unstoppable.
can you see that?
That's the difference between a Michael Jordan. The thing about why Michael Jordan will ever be known, it doesn't matter about the statistics, bro. It doesn't matter
His
about how many
influence.
championships. Michael Jordan was operating in it was a calling on his life to be a shooting guard, and he worked his position, he worked his game to a way that he was unstoppable. Whereas that same dedication, same heart he tried to put into baseball, he would never get that same recognition because he was in his right element and he was unleashing what God had put in him to be an influence. Oh, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
and
if we're
women
talking
be that,
about-
you're unstoppable.
Let's just take two women and we're not going to put them against each other because they're on the same team. Michelle Obama v. Hillary Clinton. Right?
Ooh,
No,
this
and
shit
we don't want to
making it
stay there.
hard,
I know
boy.
I'm making it hard.
All right, let's go.
But it would seem as if for the sake of our brief argument while we're staying here, where we're talking about influence, it seems as if Michelle can get more done because she understands in more of a consequential way how to use her influence when it looks like from the outside that Hillary just want to be in charge.
Well, first of all, I think why that's unfair is there has been a campaign against Hillary Clinton for 20, almost 30 years to destroy her character. If you had a campaign of a whole party who has made up in their mind for 30 years that I'm going to do whatever, every time they think about Rashad, I'm going to do something to say about his character, and I'm going to push that into the atmosphere. I'm going to push that out. There's nothing Hillary Clinton could do that could get her to win. Watch this. Hillary Clinton lost to Barack Obama when?
2008.
Well, when did it turn? The tides turn. She cried.
She cried. Yeah.
Now she crying is showing the party. Y'all said that she's showing her femininity.
Right.
That's what y'all would consider. She was showing more of being a woman. That made her lose. So she came back and said, "I'm gonna be stronger." When she came back, she was too strong. They said she too much like a man. There was nothing she could do
right
that could get her to win. Now let's talk about who really Hillary Clinton is. She was always awkward.
Okay.
If you look at the old pictures of her when she was with Bill, I don't think Bill got with Hillary because she was the beauty thing. He got
Right.
with her because she fit where he was going.
trying to
She
go.
was awkward. She was always an awkward and a purist and a nerd. That is who Hillary Clinton is. And now she's not the epitome of woman. Now let's talk about Michelle. Michelle Obama.
Ain't one crazy.
Michelle Obama, we like her because she's the home girl. Michelle don't want none of this. Michelle only was following her husband. She didn't want to be in no White House. She didn't want to deal with these people. And Michelle don't want to deal with these people now.
Right.
But Michelle is the homegirl who was smart, who got and made it, and she still ain't lost herself because she know how to connect back to the homegirls in the hood, but she's still true to herself. That's why we like Michelle. We like Michelle because Michelle is our Claire Huxtable.
Okay. I can rock with that.
I get mad when people get mad. I fight for Claire Huxtable.
Oh yeah. Claire
Because
Huxtable.
Claire Claire was. She was smart and she was intelligent, but Claire knew how to get that eye to her kids on TV. Now, you ain't never seen them get whooped on the Cosby Show, but when Claire gave that eye, you know Claire will cut you.
Right. And she cut, what's her name, Chandra's husband a few times when he got to talking that misogynistic stuff. I saw one clip when he was talking about getting coffee, and she said, I get my husband, and it just went off. I was like, yo, yes!
Claire even knew how to look at her husband like, hold on.
Right.
Because so we knew that Claire, she was classy, but Claire reminded us of those mothers of Zion who look good, but let the preacher say you was talking in the back and mama looked back in that back row. You knew when you got home. It was gonna be a problem. Like Donkey Kong. So I think that's it. The question is, how do we deal in our society with where will a Beyonce and an AOC fit? Will AOC in 20 years will we allow them to do what they did to Hillary and make her unredeemable? Can Beyonce ever really break out of her mold and become
a Michelle?
What she really is? Or do we love her because she's smart, but she represents the sexual fantasy more than she represents her smartness? Yeah. Our question has to be,
and you can see Beyonce changing though. Right. And she's slowly but surely as
Beyonce is changing and as Jay-Z is changing, we also are going to watch the desire. They will always be mainstream. They will always be popular. But we're watching the hype of them being the number one at the top now.
Yeah,
not because they're getting older.
They're getting up there. They're
because they're changing.
What they're pushing is different. He's now. It ain't about them no more. Right. It's not about ticket. They got all the Grammys. They got all the money. They've attained the highest of the highest. Now it's about literally helping other people, and you can slowly but surely see it formate.
What's wrong with our communities when we won't let women evolve? Y'all remember Mary J. Blige tried to evolve, and then she had to come back and sing about hood love.
Right.
We didn't allow Mary J. to evolve. We don't allow the women to evolve. They have to stay. What is wrong with our communities?
Mary had to go to hateration, holleration.
Right. What's wrong with women that they want that? And we got to ask our women, what is wrong with that we don't allow women to evolve from a place of being broken, being hurt, being in pain, busting windows out? Why can't they evolve from that place?
Right.
And that has to be a question is, do we allow evolution in our communities or do we want to stay stuck? And part of what is happening in the black community, we're stuck.
Yeah, because you should be able to change and grow and evolve as your situations in life change and you mature, right? You can tell, like you say with Jay, you can see the formation from Reasonable Doubt album to 444. You can tell that there's a bit of maturity there. Even with Beyonce, you can tell her Destiny's Child hits to now whatever formation or whatever her last album was. You can see when Motherhood kind of hit. You can see when Wife kind of hit. You know what I'm saying? Her music.
You can see how in an album how I dealt with adultery, how I dealt with mistrust of my husband. You can walk and see her pain, her struggle, her anger, and you can see how she comes back to resolve.
Right.
On one album. But now the challenge is people don't talk about the resolve of Beyonce. We still deal with
to the left, Becky with the good hair. We want to stay there.
We want to stay here. And so the question is as everybody else's community, we mad at the Latino, they evolving.
Yeah.
We're mad the Asian, they're evolving. I'm saying to us as a people, we got to evolve.
Right, because you see that. And I think that takes us back to our collaborators and our enablers, right?
Goes back to it.
Because you have certain women. We're just dealing with women. Maybe next week we'll come back and deal with men. But we named enough men that we saw as collaborators. Right. Senator Scott, Carson, Kane, Clarence Thomas. We know a litany of black men that's collaborators and enablers. Like you said, women have a certain influence that as you see other women evolving, there's a whole sect of your, like you say, your Cardi B's, your Megan Thee Stallions, your Nicki Minaj's, your all of them that are kind of collaborative or enabling of a certain view of a woman that is not allowing our black women in particular, in some instances brown women, to evolve into the fullness of who they should be.
Because and what I want to say
is it money though? Because it going back to the money?
But no. It's money. It's they don't have no power, and I think that's what y'all have to understand is that they are representing a fantasy, but they don't. All it is rented. It's a rented world. They're selling you a dream, and you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Because this is the problem. I have no problem with the WAP song.
Right.
I don't. Personally, if that's what that's obviously people's reality. The problem is I don't think that's all of Cardi B. I don't think it's all of Megan Thee Stallion. You won't give me a full view of you. So why you ain't nasty all day long?
All day long.
You ain't jumping on give me a full view of you, but you won't. You will only live in this world and give this look. So to me, you're not authentic.
Right, because how can I take you seriously when I see if I'm on Shade Room on IG, if you're on other social medias and stuff, and you hear of Megan Thee Stallion trying to champion women's rights and all this stuff after she had this run-in with Tory Lanez, I really can't. I mean, I can't take you serious.
I want to know how you got shot. I really want to know what you was doing. And how did you get shot on the foot?
Right.
So I'm just trying to figure out what was you doing. No. How do you, out of all people, get shot in your foot? What in the hell was going on in the car? That's what we got to ask.
I wasn't trying to go there. I was trying to get to the fact of what you saying. We don't see the whole depth and breadth of a Megan Thee Stallion, so it's hard for me to take you serious if you're talking about champion women's rights and you weren't champion women's rights before you got shot in the foot, but now all of a sudden. You were a collaborator and an enabler, but now you want to be a solution to the problem.
No, but that's good.
After you get abused, but I don't have enough of you to know, am I really taking you seriously or are you just trying to capitalize on the opportunity?
That's capitalize on the opportunity. It's PR. I don't know where she was abused at. She got shot in the foot, and I don't know why you did. See, you're trying to tell me that she's abused.
No, I'm saying that.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I don't know if that's abuse. I don't know why he shot you in the foot. I don't know if it's self-defense. I don't know why the man shot you in the foot. I just want to know what the heck was going on. Maybe I'm being nosy. Maybe I'm being intrusive. But I just want to know why in the hell he shot you in the foot. Was this like a Harlem Night? Was he trying to shoot you in the pinky toe?
Right.
And he was trying to reenact the Harlem Nights? I just want to know why you got shot in your foot. What is going on that? And now why is it? And women should say this.
Right. Come on, women, holla at us.
There are real women who got abused, bro. There's real women who dealing with real abuse. And now we gonna let Megan Thee Stallion now she's the face of your real abuse. Based on we don't really know what was involved. Nobody has the right to shoot you in the foot. But the question is what was really going on? Because there's some women right now, they're doing everything right and they getting their head beat in. Yeah. There's some women right now who are women who have not put themselves in bad situations, but they're living with the devil. You get what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
And so I just think we gotta stop letting people make the worst of us be the champions of our morality and ethics.
Right. You can't co-op you can't co-op domestic abuse.
OJ Simpson cannot champion my madness. I'm cool with you, OJ. I don't even think OJ did it, but what you cannot do, I'm the problem why you can't champion me. You was stupid enough to believe you can go walk in there and go steal your own stuff and people wasn't gonna remember you. You's a dummy already.
Right, like
that's
they weren't
how I know you really didn't kill her, because you're the dumbest thief I've ever known, ever. So therefore, he can't champion. And I think we got to start finding better representation to champion our cause. Instead of trying to find the popular people, find people who are better champions of our cause, we can get further. I believe.
Right.
So women, you just got to find better champions. I just don't think it. I don't think Megan the Stallion is
your champion
the
for
champion
domestic
for
violence.
Your domestic violence. I just
Yeah,
don't.
she
and then
can't.
because the question is back how men gonna ask. Okay, she's the champion of your, but she's a vulgar like what like. Okay.
Right.
There you go.
I ain't gonna be able to rock with her.
We're talking as men who are being progressive. We're talking as men who are trying to break our sexist past of how we've been. We're trying to men who are trying to be flexible and be more open to what's going on in the world and look at women equality. If I'm like,
yeah, Megan ain't the one that needs to be the face.
Well, you got to do better. Then what else? I mean, I think we got to get back. We got to get back to that. And it could be because I grew up and my grandmother told me you got to be 2 times better. It could be because I really believe Frederick Douglass said power will never concede without demand. It never has and it never will be. And you can't put demand on something when you know at the end of the day they're going to do whatever they can to ridicule your name. So you have to be as the Bible. Maybe it's because I believe the Bible that Jesus said we got to be blameless.
Right.
Paul calls us to be blameless because he knows, he says when they look for something on you, let them find nothing on your name. That's how we have to be if we're going to be agents of change.
Right. And she can't. Or certain women that have a certain.
They must be telling us off. A1 over there looking. What they saying?
Oh, the Braves are beating the Dodgers. Oh, here he go. Well, we know that the Dodgers wasn't going to win.
He said, I ain't talking about give them. A1 believe y'all women need to stay in y'all place. One say y'all don't supposed to. If you stay in your place, we'll have a better world. Your place belongs.
See, that's him doing the clapping. That ain't me and Frank.
That's the place.
That's A1
is trying to tell y'all, the producer believe that's the problem. You're just out of order.
Right.
And so therefore he ain't listening. And then we saying he watching the game because y'all trying to get in order somebody that's already out of orderness.
Right. 424-234-8670. Come on, a woman, before we get out of here, I don't know how much time we got left. A1 gonna tell us how much time we got left, but I would love to hear from a woman as it pertains to women that are collaborators or women that are enablers to a particular position that is not in you all's favor, that does not work out in your benefit. How do you as a woman reckon with that? Where do you all stand with that? What do you do?
I think you'll have a problem finding, because I think if the truth be told, all women at one point have been enablers and collaborators of their own against their own destructive, or have been destructive to something of their own self-preservation or their own ideas. I think they're being raised to be like that, and sometimes they do it when they like it and they in love, they're okay with it. But then they don't want to do it when they nobody. It's just, I mean, I just think that they all play a role in that, and it's easy to say, Judge Amy, you wrong, instead of looking at yourself and saying, but I do this all the time.
I collaborated on this, or I enabled on that.
I think one of human natures is hypocrisy. We don't talk about that. Like a part of human nature, every person, your natural human instinct is to be a hypocrite.
Yeah, because you don't want to be outed.
Because we got blinders. Yeah. There is stuff that I'll be like, I don't believe Cat did that. I don't believe he acted like that. And you'll be looking like, bro, you do that though. We all have that. So at the end of the day, my spiritual walk is God trying to get more truth in me instead of more inadequacies, incongruences, right?
Right.
And so I think women have to come to the point of saying, we do this.
Right.
We do this sometimes thinking we're going to get a benefit. I'm going to do this. How many women, I'm going to dumb myself down, or I'm going to be this. So I can
get a man.
Come on. Women, how many women did you meet when you first met them? They look like they cooked. They look like they cleaned. They look like they this domesticated woman.
Educated. They look like they educated.
I'm just domestic. Women do this all the time. When you meet them, I'm gonna serve him. I'm gonna be his servant here. You go, oh, you ain't gotta get it. I'm gonna get it. Cause your mama said you better give that man. Don't let you give that man. You get with her
and all that
and be
stuff.
alone, but you know where the kitchen is. You ain't a guest no more. So I thought you was. We liberated.
You're right.
I did that at my mama's house. We liberated. You sold me a dream.
Right.
And sold me a dream. And you don't even believe a woman should be doing this. So you were a collaborator in me,
and an enabler.
In me believing that a woman is this servant, only to flip it on me and say, hell,
Go get your
we
own
free.
water.
Come on.
Get your own glass of water.
So the
Yeah.
truth of the matter is, be you. Just let me
Right.
know.
If you don't cook, say you don't cook.
And I probably ain't gonna be with you.
Right. That part.
But there is a man who don't care. There's a bunch of men who cook out there who don't even want you to cook.
Right.
Don't waste my time, so I can't waste your time.
Right, 'cause I'm not the greatest cook in the
Or he
world.
might be with you because you might be, you might be cute.
Right.
But he ain't gonna marry you.
that part.
because
you
cooking
just gonna
is
be the
prob-
you gonna be the wop.
You gonna be the what? Because cooking.
You gonna be the
because
wop.
At the end of the day,
Somebody else gonna be the
At the end of the day, eating is a part of my natural existence.
I got to eat. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, you can't be good. I can't be a good sex WAP partner with you if I ain't got the right nourishment in my body. So he going
Right.
he going over the girl who he gonna marry house to get a good meal, so he can come thrash
Right.
you who don't
Right.
want to cook, because you got to
just-
work out the energy. He got to get the calories off.
He got it right. He got to.
Oh, I messed up your show right now.
No, you ain't messed up my
Your
show.
is messed.
I'm just doing. We speaking.
I'm
We speaking
being-
truth
a
to
lot
power.
and you be looking at women and they be around T and they be hurt. Man, and I'm watching it. I want to talk, I really want to talk to women right now and tell them, so many of y'all wonder how did a man be with you for 10 years? Because you did not know his criteria.
Yeah.
You didn't know his criteria, man. And I know that may get off of what we talking about, but until you know a man's criteria, because it's it's the man's job to initiate the marriage, if that's what you believe. Now, if you one who gonna get on your knee and you gonna propose to him, it's a different story. But if you waiting for a man to propose to you and initiate you, you better learn his criteria, and you better learn how to either you're going to acculturate into his world, or you're not. But one thing he's not going to do is you're not going to do what you want to do, and it's against his rules, and think he going to marry you. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest.
Yeah.
Whoever told y'all that if your mama told you that she need to be saved, that's
Right.
the stupidest thing I've heard. But this is what they believe. I can be whatever I want to be. He going to accept me for me.
No, he
not.
ain't.
You take on his name. You got to come in his world. And then I'm waiting for Boaz. Well, Ruth said, your God will be my God. Your people will be my people. That's what he told Naomi. Ruth was the type of woman who knew how to fit on
Right.
whoever she was going to be
She-
with.
you-
She was acculturating
Yeah.
into their world. Boo, you got to be able to be flexible
acculturate.
to acculturate.
And listen to your Naomi.
Oh.
That's a whole nother topic. That's another
Where
topic.
are the
for them.
Naomis? The Naomis is in the club with the Roofs. And that's,
Yeah, the
I don't know where
mother-in-law.
these mothers-
They going after the same Boaz.
I'm trying to tell you. Come on.
Listen,
Come on.
They didn't turn from collaborators. They collaborators and enablers.
The mamas is trying to get it in.
Listen, it's rough out
And
here.
they don't even want no older man, because older men, I don't know why older men, Viagra changed the game. Older men got their strength back. Mama don't even want them.
Right, Viagra and
Mama want a
Cialis.
younger man.
Hey, it's interesting.
That's
man.
a conversation we should do.
What?
You should do. How old would you date?
Me.
Would you date a 60-year-old?
Let me see. I'm 39. I'm really 39. Hey, watch it. I'm 39. Hey, one said
Why
you lying.
thinking about it? Why you
Wait a
thinking
minute.
about
Right
it?
now,
Would you
I'm
date
39.
a 60-year-old, dog?
60-year-old? Nah. I mean, now if we talking about if the 60-year-old Pam Grier, nah, it's a different conversation.
You might have sex with her. You would date, nigga, like for
We
real.
talking about Pam Grier?
You would
My
date Pam Grier? Like you would think this is my girl.
Oh,
like,
here my auntie
almost
on
to be
here talking
married?
about he better not. Man, we talking about Pam Grier now, auntie.
Pam
Hold
Grier
on.
is good, but I mean, like you gonna really like date? Like Because you know the Pam Grier, how she's made up. I mean, you're going to be dealing with the 60-year-old problem.
Yeah. No, I'm not going
Pam Grier, 60-year-old problem.
Y'all, listen, the Lady Eloises of the world, don't come over here talking, Marcus died. Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with no, I'm not dealing with no Lady Eloise. Listen, I'm not dealing with no Lady Eloise.
That's how you do that one.
I am not.
It ain't nothing to knock.
I'm not nothing against the Lady Eloises of the world,
no,
but I'm not dating the Lady Eloise.
Then I want to be like, boom. I would say this: Would you date a 19-year-old?
No, that's 20 years. But I'm 39.
I ain't dating
No,
a
that's 30 years my senior, man. Like that's no. I'm 39. She 19. We have absolutely
I think a lot of men
nothing
think
in common.
No, I think a lot of men think it, but I don't even know what at this age. Let me try to tell you something. I ain't got into this 40 groove.
Man, I'm right here with you.
I got into that. I didn't learn. I don't think a 19-year-old know enough to.
Don't know enough,
baby. I'm gonna spend more time trying to teach. What?
I don't feel like going back to school.
I don't want to be fighting with you.
I'm not a professor yet. We still working on our
doctors. I don't think a 19-year-old know enough.
But I'm no.
But 19, some men they into it, but I just don't think a 19-year-old know enough. Let me see.
I'm 39.
Unless you want to teach, but I mean like a 19-year-old, we old enough to be like I'm literally old enough
to be your dad. That's 30 years, bro.
Like a 19-year-old. That's like my son dating. Like I can't see myself.
Am I right? A1, is that my math? Is that 30 years? That like literally. Nah.
No, it's 20 years.
20? Is it 20?
I mean, a 19-year-old be 20 years. You 39.
I'm 39.
You 49?
Yeah. Okay. See,
you said a different age, though.
Oh, maybe I did. I'm saying at 39 when he dated a 19-year-old. I wouldn't date no 19-year-old.
No. I'm thinking now, highest I would probably maybe want to go is maybe 45 because I'm 39. I think 45 may be my ceiling. The low may be like 32.
That has to be a bomb 45.
And right, that criteria is gonna be she gotta be so super bomb.
She gotta be Jesus' sister.
And then the lowest is probably maybe 32. I'm thinking.
They might have a good 29 out there though.
You might.
That's only 10 years.
You
yours.
See how my
a good 20.
My voice right?
There might be a bomb 29-year-old got her stuff together. And she want to be, and she want to,
and she want to collaborate.
She ain't tarnished.
She want to collaborate with her brother.
Yeah, she want to acculturate.
She want to acculturate.
She say, "Your people, my people. Your God, my God." Come on, you ain't giving up no good 29-year-old. That means she ain't got the 30-year-old problems. Her body
true.
Ain't changed like
See,
that.
Now
she
you
ain't
trying
got
to get
problem.
the show shut down.
No, I'm
you
just
talking
saying,
about I'm messing with you.
Come on, 30-year-old, any woman who's hit her 30s, no, things changed. And she ain't got the 30-year-old problem.
Holla at us, ladies. That's 30 in the chat.
27. I think you'll do good with that. You know what I mean? But I don't know what a 19-year-old can do.
No.
And
you just got out of high school. You just got out of high school.
Okay, see, even if you Angela Bassett, like, what can I do though?
Yeah, I'm like I don't want to be like you ain't trying to be. I'm not trying to be your African Jamaican dude and you trying to get your groove back. Yeah, that's not what I know. Stella.
Shelly said, "What 30-year-old? What's the 30-year-old problem?"
What's the 30-year-old? Oh Lord, Frank started it. I didn't start this. Wait, I didn't start this. Lady.
Shelly said that. Is Shelly Terry 30?
That's
the question, Shelly.
Auntie Shelly, how old are you? Don't be lying out here in these streets. I think Auntie Shelly is in her 40s, I think.
She know what she went through at 30, what happened from 29 to 31. She know her body changed. She know things spread in places that she didn't want it to spread no more. She know getting out the bed was different. You know what I mean? In her 20s, she was in her 20s.
She said she's 55.
Auntie Shelly, in your 20s, you could go all night. In your 30s, you was like 15 minutes, bruh. Come on, Auntie. Stop playing me in here today. Your wind changed in your 30s.
Your wind.
Come on, your wind changed.
Your wind changed.
Come on.
She ain't got nothing to prove no more.
She said hers ain't changed.
Well, Auntie Shelly, I told you was Jesus' sister. But for the rest of the people, things have changed. Auntie, if you 53 and your wind ain't changed from 20s, woo! Auntie, Auntie,
You
you
are
was a
something
bad
else.
mamma jamma.
You are something else.
You.
In my Kevin Hart voice, you are something else.
She gonna be like that girl.
No, I met my best husband when I was 31.
Oh, see, yeah, you did meet Uncle Mark when you was 30. Yeah, that's right.
Her best husband. Cause well, Auntie, you had just started a whole your best husband. Your best husband assumes that there's some other ones they just was horrible. Huh? How old was he?
How old was Uncle Mark? I don't know. He was 30 something, I think.
You had just hit your 30s, so 31 is just hitting it.
Yeah, she had just hit her 30s.
She just hit her 30. 31 is just realizing you 30s. Now, when she got 33, it changed. But if Uncle Mark was, if
Uncle Mark was probably in his mid. I think Uncle Mark was in his mid 30s, right? Auntie Shelly, or was he 31? How old was he?
By that time, when you get in your mid, when I got in my mid 30s, I was accepting of a woman who's like, my wife is 5 years younger than me. So when she was in her early stage of her 30s, I'm in my older stage of my 30s. I accepted that.
Yeah.
I didn't accept nobody my same.
Yeah, my ex-wife,
You know what I'm
we were
saying?
4 years apart.
That's
when
what I'm
we
saying.
got
So
married.
I accepted that. I accepted that you. And ain't nobody right about them. That's the difference because you was closer on to the 40. I accepted that. You know what I mean? I accepted her different than a 29-year-old. I didn't look for her to be the 29. I knew that she was in her 30s, and it met my rhythm at that moment in time. You get what I'm saying?
You right.
So, but there is a difference. A 29 and 27. The 27-year-old, she don't need nothing to tune her up. It's like a car. Auntie, it's like a car.
She started.
There's some cars.
She started in third gear.
There's some cars that as soon as you push start, they gone. And then some of y'all just you still a good car. Just take your little time to
Heat up the engine. You got to wait before you
gotta
take
heat
off.
that thing on
You
up.
got to wait that 3 minutes that they say
Yeah.
to make sure
But once
that
you
your
get
oil,
started,
your oil starts circulating. That's all she wrote.
you a blessing. But some people they like the Teslas. They
Yeah, man.
20s are Teslas. 30s is Hemis.
40s is what? BMWs and Benzes?
Cadillac. I don't know.
You gonna
Just a
get us
smooth-
all in trouble.
Just a smooth ride.
Just
It's a Lincoln Town car.
smooth ride. Man, I don't know how I let Frank America
It's a
bait
Lincoln
me.
Town car, baby.
He baited me into dating. Oh, he gonna lead me back to this dating thing.
40s is a Dodge Caravan. It's just, ride us home. Ride on, King Jesus. Ride on.
Man, listen, we get ready to get up out of here.
We done. That means don't get nobody no 40s unless you want a
No,
Cadillac.
listen,
You
I'm
want a
still-
Corvette?
Nah,
Go get you a 29-year-old. You want a Corvette? You want a Hemi?
I need me a nice S550 that can do what I need to do.
That's about 30. That's about 35, 37.
It is.
Just know they heavy.
Mercedes-Benz S550.
And know about the S550. It like to drive itself. It lets you know when you getting out of lane.
Teslas can park themselves too, and they got that notice in the whole
but most
thing.
about that's the higher end Tesla. You gotta get that downloaded. I'm talking about just a straight. I'm talking about a straight stock Tesla at the beginning. Don't need all the other downloads. But that 550,
it's grown.
and just know, and just.
She good with being in her 50s, because that's when y'all slow down and she ready.
Yes, Jesus. That mean you give him a good. That mean he a good. He ain't trying to do multiple nights, Auntie. That good one, he just he knocked out for a couple of days. You looking at him like,
Is you gonna awake from your
you
slumber?
gonna wake up?
Oh man.
That 550 is expensive.
550 is expensive.
A 550 is expensive.
But it got 160 on the dash. It ain't gonna start fast, but it's gonna catch you in the long run.
With that 550, you got to give it the best gas. You got to give it the best maintenance to get the best out of it. And that's what I think that it correlates to a lot of the 550 women. 550 women, the type of women who, I give you all the sex you want, but we gotta have all these done in the house. I need this, I need that. 550 women got a lot of criteria to them.
So you said I need to go down to an E class?
I'm saying any Mercedes takes a lot. It costs a lot to take care of the maintenance.
But you ain't got, a lot. I can't do what I need.
What's wrong with a Camaro?
The C class is too small. I'm stuck.
Well, get out of Mercedes. What's wrong with the Camaro, Doc? You don't want a Chevy?
What's wrong with a Chevy Malibu?
What's wrong with the Apollo's been good to everybody. Doc.
Listen, Apollo Doughboy. Chargers Doughboys cars. You know what I mean? Certain cars you gonna get flagged.
That's your problem.
You gonna get flagged. You know what I mean?
You want to be flagged. You want to be flagged.
Women are experienced.
You want to be a flag. You right.
Here goes Sherilyn. Here she come.
Sherilyn, you right. See, I tell people this all the time. The older you get, the better tricks you learn. See, when you younger, especially when you're a younger man, it's just in your power, it's in your mo. But see, them old men learn that you ain't as powerful as you was when you young. So you get an old man, he know how to do a trick. He know how to lick the bottom of your heel in a way that your whole body just go numb. Just, oh, gee, like, it just changed your whole body.
Right.
Old men got these old. Look,
old.
Y'all
old
y'all
tricks.
got to catch the other shows a few weeks ago. Old men talk about baby oil.
Yeah, right.
Baby
oil.
Girl, go get that baby oil. I'm about to show you.
My old man, old school was in here with the baby oil.
Baby oil and turned your bed to a water bed. See, young men don't know about no water beds no more. You are slipping. It's like you don't know what it happened. Old men got some tricks, and old women got some tricks. Old women can just sit there. Just sit on you and just your whole body just baby, I ain't gotta do all that movement. Them young girls gotta do that. I know exactly where I need to go. Old women got different. Because they ain't got a lot of time to be dealing with you like that.
They know some things.
They know some things. It's wisdom. It's wisdom.
Yeah.
That's that old woman, but it's still a Cadillac.
With the white wall.
And Cadillac get a good ride.
Don't it?
But a Cadillac, don't. Okay. You got Cadillac, no, that Lincoln ought to do a good ride.
Right.
But don't put that Lincoln on. You can't put don't put a DeVille on the racetrack.
Shelly said tricks old men get the young girls because they don't know better.
Oh yeah, because
women already know and tired of those old tricks.
Right, because when an old man try to bite on nipple on her tail, a nipple on her heel, she blow. She know how to blow in his eye or something. She'll blow and he'll ejaculate. She blow. She messed up his whole. Old women got tricks. Old women got tricks that you didn't even know. You just got you got my mind off. Right, I'm gonna bring it back. Old women got. So I got you.
And then they feed you. Take these, Take these greens. These greens and cornbread.
And I put a little something in there because you got to work on your stamina. I put a little more in there. Work on. Don't get that to your grandsons. You eat that because I had to work on your stamina. Because last night you just failed last night. I blew on you and you just gave up the ghost.
Right.
So that's older women. But I mean, I guess that's time when you. Also, older people got more. If you're established and you're stable, you got more time to enjoy and more time to see that. And I think when you're older, you realize it's not just about the physical, or it's just not about. My grandmother said, "Sex is only." My grandmother would say, "Sex is only 5 seconds. If it's longer than that, you're gonna die." And I said, "Grandma," I said, "Don't tell people that because you're gonna mess up Grandpa." She said, "Oh no."
Good.
Your granddaddy got a lot of stamina. It take him a long time to get there, but 5 seconds is the ejaculation, baby. After 5 seconds, you're gonna die. You can't have nothing that go. That's what the part is saying. And I think when she was trying to get us as younger people to understand. A lot of y'all getting wrapped up in that moment, right? Yeah. Of that moment. Well, you don't realize it is everything that comes along with that. And
right.
I think when your
older, whole journey,
you respect that whole journey,
the whole relationship,
it
climaxes what Usher his song. When we reach that climax, you got to reach it, and the reaching the climax is not the physical act. It's more the relationship, how we vibing, what we building, the love we have for each other, how we moving about this thing. And so the physical is nothing but an expression of everything that is.
I said to my wife something that I heard Nipsey Hussle say to Lauren London. I think one of the problems is in our communities, people see marriage as possession. I see it as an experience.
That's good.
Experience means that I don't have ownership on you, so it ain't when I want to play with you, when I want to pick you up, when I want to do. When it's an experience, everything about you leads up to the moment. Everything about you. So when you're present and you're totally present, that means something to me, and I can't get that from nobody else. What I have with you is going to be uniquely with you that I wouldn't have with anybody else. And I cherish the experience because I can't replicate the experience.
Yeah, the journey.
I'm not none of that. I look at things as experience. And I think the problem we do, especially in America, we look at people as possession. And you know what you do with your things. You throw them anyway, or you put them up, or you deal with them when you want to deal with them. And we have the possessive mindset instead of an experiential mindset. And I think that if you learn to experience a person, and I think people when they get older, they experience, it means something. That
and they were able, and again, they were able, our grandparents, great-grandparents were able to stay married 30, 40, 50, 60 years because they, like you said, they had those experiences and they had that journey together.
And life was slower.
Life was slower. You're right.
Like life was slower. Like family life was slower. Right now, the problem is everything. If you on social media, you are bombarded with everything, everybody's life. Nothing slows down, nothing stops. And I just think that we don't, and people don't know how to be. A lot of women, like I tell you right now, to me, I feel like when I see men my age dating younger women, like 19, 20-year-olds, I'm just looking like, what's like something wrong? Because most of these women don't even know, like they don't even understand experience. They don't even know how to look you in your eye and talk. I need a woman who can talk to me with her eyes.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me you want me. I want your eyes to say.
Yeah, because your eyes can say a whole lot.
Huh? Like we can be in there, we can be vibing and eating, and you give me that look, and I'm like, where's the
Check,
bill?
please.
Come, hurry
Check,
up.
please.
I ain't gonna tip you.
Right.
To the point where she give you that look, to the point where keep the change. This is like 20. It's like the same amount of I got to go. Where is that woman? Now you look at women. Even when they tell you you're not convinced, I want you. Well, it didn't sound convincing. Like, you know what I mean? So you need that person who cares about experiences. And I think so many people are emotionally dead.
Right. Nobody wants to have the journey.
No.
Nobody wants to build because, like you said, they're looking for it already done. This man need to have a house. He need to have a car. He need to have this. He need to have that. Right. You ain't got it. Or the women got to have this. Like, man, what happened to
you gonna stop
building?
doing? I don't want to hear about what the men do because I don't know about men. I'm gonna talk to y'all as women.
I'm trying to be an apologist for
Y'all
both sides.
can't. Let me tell you something. Even women who are close to us, and I've been on shows with y'all. Y'all cannot ask. This is biblical. You cannot ask what you can't give. You can't require what you cannot give. I need the man to have this. He needs to have himself together. He needs to be groomed. Your hair. Do you see them damn braids? I don't know if them braids is supposed to be dreadlocks or I don't know what's. Did you see? Amen. You cannot ask or ask for. You cannot have a list and say, I want a man to be nice when you mean. Right. You cannot ask for what you don't put out. And so that's a lot of the problem I see is women got this list of something they want. And it's like, you're not realistic because none of that's you.
Right. I want a man that's well groomed. Are you at the
take care of yourself?
Right. Are
your
you
skin,
at the?
I look at your skin. You got skin. The skin ain't. Right. Your skin ain't soft.
Is your hair done every 2 weeks?
It's not. Or not only that, maybe you get your hair done, but then you wearing clothes and you ain't even got the right drawers on. We see your whole panty line. I know your mama taught you better than having that whole panty line showing. Them panties are so thick. The panties is thick. You should not be having that going on. Now your mama taught you that. The women in the church, they taught you that you should be able to have that. Put on a slip, baby, or put on some pantyhose or something. A panty line should not be showing like that. And it's a shame. I be seeing women in Levi's jeans. How your panty line show in thick Levi's jeans? Mama taught you better than that. Some of this stuff they taught you. Or you ain't got a thong on, it's so high up your back, and then your pants are so, and we just seeing where the Red Sea parted for Moses. Some of this stuff some of this stuff, and then you want to talk about, but I don't like how he put his clothes together. We don't like how you put yours together either, but we're here and we make it happen for you. All right. So it is what it is. I mean, you wearing your velour suit that you had when you was 31 and don't realize now you 37 and you gained 40 pounds. That velour don't look the same.
Oh, bye, bye.
So
bye.
in the middle right here is stretching because them
see.
legs have been touched. I'm just trying to help y'all out here today, just to help you to make it simplistic to you. I messed up your show. Your show. I just messed up your show. We done. A1 love it though. This is what he A1 said. Now this is the show we're supposed to be having here.
Listen, man, I'm sorry for all of you that are
He
on
went
YouTube.
into speaking in tongues. Lord, intercede, Lord, help him, Lord. Save him.
I'm sorry for those of you on YouTube. Listen, y'all can tell that our dynamic is different, so I ain't been on YouTube looking at the comments. So I'm trying to toggle between YouTube and Facebook.
Help him, Lord.
Tell Shirley I'm not meeting her in the alley.
Right.
I'm just helping people to realize you can't be talking about the Lord ain't blessing you. No, cause you ain't right.
Oh Lord.
You can't be asking for somebody to be a 10 and you're not even a 7. You can't ask. Don't do that. Why would God do that to them?
But the doors of the church is open.
All right, I'm done.
Is there one?
I'm done. I'm done.
Is there one?
You can't ask for perfection and you imperfect. And so because we are imperfect beings,
whoever
will,
let them
and
come.
let a brother work with a sister. I'll be telling brothers all the time.
Listen, you got to build. You got to be able to build. I'm a big proponent on being able to build together. You have to be able to build together no matter what level you're on. There has to be a meeting of the minds and you're building together. No one person has it all. You need to be able, the man needs to be able to complement the woman. Woman needs to be able to complement the man. Everybody needs to be able to come together, put their cards on the table, and let's play spades face up.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's play spades face up.
But I understand where we are at the world. Here you are. Look, y'all got a nice, good chocolate, single man. He ain't been in jail. He got a job. He got multiple jobs, church and job. He got real stuff going on with his life. He owns his own home, pays his child support, and he don't have multiple baby mamas. He had it in a marriage. Why this Negro ain't on a date every night? I'm going to tell you why. Because y'all so busy trying to be over here at the Nipsey Hussle memorial over here trying to find a Negro who live with his baby mama and you mad. Because he lived with his baby mama. I don't understand how there's so many single men handling their business and women talking about they can't find no men. Yeah. I got 2 single men in the studio. And y'all talking about y'all can't find a man, and you at home with your toys,
yeah,
or eating yourself to a heart attack. We gotta stop this. So that's all I got to say to you. It wasn't Rashad who said. I said it. I don't understand what's going on in y'all world. And if there's 2 at this show, just think how many are in places there ain't no other shows at.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's going on, but you gonna miss it because I'm gonna tell you, Maria. I'm trying to tell you.
Ming Ling.
All of them. Karen Chung. Maria Lee. Not only just Maria Santiago, Maria Lee.
They coming.
And you gonna be trying to say he a sellout. No, you wasn't around. You wasn't there. You wasn't there because you've been too busy trying to try to you too busy trying to throwing your pearls among swine.
Right, you trying to get Nipsey. And nothing wrong with Nip.
And Nip don't want you because Nip is getting Lauren London. You ain't Lauren London. I don't know who told you were, but you think because you took a picture of certain sideways. No, you ain't Lauren. You not Lauren. You not London. You the Dunn. But not the Lauren London. and you just gotta be able to somebody to tell you. Well, that's all I want to tell you. Or y'all you got these things mixed. Y'all going for men who don't really like women.
We gotta go.
Y'all, I see a lot of y'all in the malls and stuff, and I can tell you that man don't like he don't like nothing on your body, but that's who you rolling with. And if that's your boo, I'm sorry. Message. I'm sorry to be your prophet. He don't like no women.
Oh Lord,
he don't like you. He's too busy he's too busy trying to compete with you. So that's it. All right, we gotta go. I just messed up the whole
Listen, we gotta
go. I had to make sure your last part of your show was back because I was late. I just had to make sure to give it all.
Listen, we getting out of here. Women, y'all gotta be better with not being collaborators and enablers when it's not gonna benefit you or the womankind as a whole. Y'all got to be better and stop doing things that is not going to progress you all as a race. Like, listen, it's enough coming to get you all. Don't work with the individual or individuals that are setting you back just for $1. It's not worth it in the long run. You're going to wake up and, wish you never did it.
And a shameless plug. As I am an owner of a Mayweather Boxing and Fitness Gym, y'all gonna have to get y'all butt in the gym. You have to work out. You just got to stop getting. A man don't want you. You don't need to get more than four sizes more than when he met you. One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Ghost, and then one for grace. Don't get bigger than that. And mercy. So I give you 5. Don't get bigger than that. Don't do that,
Lord
because
Jesus.
you can't go from a size 8 to a size 22 and then talk about you got to accept me the way I am. No. That you have transformed, and nobody asked you to transform. I asked you to become that. That's not who I want you to be. So you're going to have to work out. And I know it's been COVID time, but you're going to have to put your mask on, and you need to get out there, because I'll be out there working out. I'll be working out the Long Beach Beach. I see Maria and all of them out there. But I don't see a lot of Buquishas. and Sharikas and
just all
and
the
Shantas and Cavassier and COVID-19er or whatever you name your kids. I don't see a lot of them out there. Y'all got to get out there. Y'all got to get it. I'm gonna help you. My job as a love doctor is to help you stay in love. And I'm gonna tell you, some of y'all is just too much. You too much. You the whole Colonel's chicken. You the whole
right. That's not
the
attractive.
whole meal. It's just too much.
Listen, and Frank is not coming against our full figured women. He's not doing that.
No,
he's saying it has to build your body. You need to be in proportion to your body. If you
started off at a certain place, you just you can't start off as a C class and then you turn to S550.
Yeah, that's not.
We upgrade up, but you can't.
Yeah,
you can't become a limo.
Yeah, that's not good.
This is what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
That's not good.
All right, that's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to help you out here today, to help you. And I'm gonna say to some brothers, because I be hearing too many brothers who are in their 30s and their 40s and they dealing with erectile dysfunction. Brother, you got to drink better. You got to drink some water. You got to get that water. You got to keep your flow. I ain't no black Hebrew Israelite person, but you are from the seed of Abraham. And if Abraham was be able to rise up and conquer at 199, I believe you ought to be able to go to the grave knowing that one thing. Resurrection should be in your loins, that you know that you will have the second resurrection when Jesus comes.
Man, this nigga, bye y'all. We out of here.
Peace.
Love y'all to death. We'll see y'all next week.
This is man talk, baby.
We might have to come back and have man talk part 2.
This is man talk.
We out.